Hey guys, welcome back. We're back already with more on the Pokemon cop scammer, Eddie Joseph Whalen. Again, I already had people reaching out. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, he is no longer a police officer, as we assumed from the documents in the previous video. If you haven't watched the previous video, that will be the top link in the description down below. I suggest you do that first if you haven't seen that one before you watch this one. We have another life lesson. We have another Rattle teaches you how to not get scammed in the Pokemon world, and that is you got to be careful. The razzle dazzle mixed wazzles, not only are they often not a good deal, even if they are run legitimately. Typically there's people that like to upcharge. You get the upcharge, they get to make more money on the item, and that's a problem in itself, because even if we consider everything is legitimate, if it's all legitimate and you win and there's no extra tip for the razzle dazzler, then you're still gonna be paying more for the items that you do end up winning than you normally would. It's not a good idea, not to mention the fact that it is in most places illegal gambling. So there's that to look forward to. And if anyone's wondering and hasn't seen the videos before where I talk about this, the reason that people on Facebook, on Instagram, on wherever else, TikTok, wherever they run their raffles, they don't call them raffles because that would get automatically flagged by the platforms that they're using. They call them razzle dazzles. They call them mixed moazzles. They call them waffle doffles. Anything to avoid the word raffle, because that's what it is, and that's because it is not allowed. Surprise, surprise. So again, I guys, if you want to gamble, opening packs in general is already gambling. You already have an edge against you. But you got to be very careful. We have an example today with Eddie with a scam raffle that he performed. He got caught performing it. But again, it's the same as pack breakers or anything else. If they're smart about it, they will never get caught. There are many ways that they can just never get caught doing this stuff. And we have an example today that is proof, that is right here in front of us, showing us that this person was being a scammy whammy, that he was taking advantage of others with these raffles. But if someone does it in a way which they can easily fake, whether they pull the winning ticket, whether they do the draw live or not, we've shown before on the camera on the channel, you can do it. You can make it look very legitimate. It can be a scam. The people that are entered into the raffle, the razzle, the waffle, the swaffle, whatever you want to call it, they're not even necessarily real people. If they are real people, it could be friends of the individual. They could be in on it. The same way we saw shill bidding on whatnot and anything like that. Not everyone is bad that does a razzle dazzle. Not everyone has bad intentions. But the ability to scam you is exponential. You are blindly putting your faith in whoever is running this shit. The same with the breaks. Same with breaks. And it doesn't matter. We've seen people on the upper end. He's a good guy, super collector. He goes to all the conventions. We've seen them shoplift. We've seen them steal from a booth. So even if the person has a reputation, are they scamming in a way that is not being caught? Are they just really good at it? All it takes is the ability to fake, which can easily be done. Fake randomly picking a winner. This guy tried to do it. All right, let's get into this because we got a long ways to go. Yes, this is going to be another long one, but we're going to look at all the receipts. I had someone reach out to me. Thank you very much to them. They were affected by this. They should have been the winner. Pokejax 35. They should have been the winner of this razzle dazzle that was performed by Eddie. So not only was Eddie not shipping your crap, Eddie was also scamming people with raffles. He had a different name back then. I guess he was Pokemon _N_ more. So that's another thing. You see somebody changing their name all the time. I get it. Sometimes you picked a bad name to begin with. But if you keep changing it, if it keeps, you know, moving platforms, it keeps moving places, there's probably a reason for that. Now let's get into the first image. So this is the boy. This is the Charizard that was being razzle McDazzled. The PSA 6 first edition base set Charizard. Very cool, very much bait. We got a screenshot with 7% battery life. You might want to charge that. But yes, Pokejax, the rightful winner. We're going to see that in a minute here. The rightful winner of the Razzle Dazzle, supposed to be the winner of the Charizard that was raffled off by a police officer. I believe he was a police officer at that time, and no longer is, from what I've been told, what I've been shown. But still looking for more information on that. If anyone has additional details on that, I would love to hear them. Eddie, if you would like to have a chat and show me how, and this is not all just you scamming everyone in existence, feel free to reach out. I would love to talk to you about this. All right. So we have a big old, yep, that's me. And the individual Pokejax 35. Again, the people that are entering raffles probably also running raffles at the same time. And again, it's nothing. I'm not saying anything against anyone here who honestly raffled. I don't think you should be. Clearly, it's not allowed. You're calling it raffle, waffle, doffle, McSwaffles. There's got to be other ways that you can gamble. Just buy some older packs, whatever you got to do from legitimate sources in order to get that extra gamble rush that you're really craving. I don't know exactly why or how it needs to come down to adding extra gambling to your gambling. But again, people are going to do what they're going to do. Be careful out there. This is another one of those areas, those gray, sketchy, underground, butthole clenching areas that if you find yourself in here, at some point, you're probably going to get scammed. If you're constantly razzling, if you're constantly getting people to open product for you, and you touch enough people, touch enough buttholes here, you're gonna end up getting scammed. And all you had to do was enter any of these raffles that Eddie was running, and you increased your odds. But again, no one knows. Who would have suspected that a police officer would be scamming people with Pokemon cards? Because it happened. All right, so we have a Pokejax 35 who says, disclaimer, I have ran raffles in the past and tend to do so every so often, but the community I'm a part of is full of so many good guys and fair people that we have never had to worry about scammers. I know some people don't agree with that, and I respect that. I mean, you never had to worry about scammers until you found one. I mean, there could be other people scamming. You don't know. Again, if anyone has 2 brain cells and they decide to scam within this area, they're going to get away with it. So in no way is this me saying anything and about anyone but Eddie. You seem like a good guy and someone I can trust, so I'll just lay it out for you and send you the evidence. And again, my advice is just to not enter raffles, to not have people open your cards for you. Open your own cards, buy your own cards, save up for the cards that you want. If you can't afford it and you're paying extra, essentially, for the chance at winning this stuff, not only can you get scammed, but you're also paying more. Just save up for the card that you want. If you want a PSA 6 first edition Charizard, I don't know what it was worth at the time, but my apologies, but, and some people probably don't want to hear this, but anyone, I'm saying anyone can save up for a PSA 6 first edition Charizard. We're not talking ridiculous trophy card money here. We're talking, if you're in the, yes, would it be a priority? Should it be a priority purchase for someone? No, probably not. But also, gambling to try to get one, not a good idea. There was also some big karma served to him from this, and was on my actual raffle that he had made it to the main, so I'll explain on that as well. I found Eddie's account a few years ago and noticed he had raffled a lot of big cards. I figured with him seeming like a big time trusted guy, there was no worries there, but I soon found out that he had turned sketchy. A friend reached out to me and told me to watch out because I had never had any bad interaction with him, and he seemed cool. I didn't listen, or didn't realize to listen. So yeah, I mean, as soon as there's like some red flags going on, you probably want to start listening. You probably want to stop blindly trusting people. you shouldn't blindly trust anyone anyway. You pay with a method that protects you. And this is the opposite of protection. Like there's no like PayPal goods and services here for somebody that's running a raffle. I can almost guarantee it. I mean, are you going to put that it's a transaction for a legal gambling? Is that what we're doing? Probably not. So again, you're blindly trusting someone, regardless of whether they have a raffle reputation, whatever the fuck that means. You shouldn't. You just shouldn't be putting your money into this. And unless you just don't care and you're fine, you're 100% fine with being burned on it, then by all means throw your money into the bonfire. Chances are a lot of the people that are in hopes of like winning one of these cards or something like that, there's a very good chance that they don't have the money to be throwing that around, because they wouldn't be wasting their time in these groups doing razzle dazzle medazzles. They just wouldn't be. And maybe there's the odd exception, but I'm going to say that anyone that has the money to toss around at this and not give a shit if they get ripped off probably isn't in there. After following him for a while and winning a PSA 7 Dark Espeon off his page, which he did send to me, I was excited when he posted up a first edition PSA 6 base set Shadowless Charizard. So again, just because someone didn't scam you once doesn't mean they won't do it again. We saw this in the previous episode on Eddie, where he took goods and service the first time, but then wanted friends and family the second time. Is he going to rip you off the second time? Maybe. Maybe it's just a build-up. It's building up trust. Building up trust is scary, guys. It is a technique. It will happen. People will build up your trust, and then eventually they poof. I went hard on it, trying to make it to the main, and eventually I did. And then he just stopped posting the raffle a bunch. At this point, we had talked a lot, and I considered him a friend and hadn't heard about his scamming yet, other than the warning I had from a friend. So that's the thing. If something doesn't sell out, if something's not going to sell for enough money, maybe the person that had success previously raffling stuff off, maybe that's cool. Now, when something doesn't go to plan, does he have to scam you? So with the raffle stalled, I was bummed, but figured he'd get back to it soon. Eventually, he did, but only after a mysterious new account joined the Raz and bought the last 3 spots straight up. So I don't know, like, even though Facebook is like the like, you gotta hide the fact that it's a raffle, so you don't say raffle. Raffle. I don't know if that like puts fear into the rafflers' hearts, any rafflers that are watching. But even in DMs or like places where it doesn't matter if you say raffle, they're still always just referring it to as a raz or a razzle or a waffle or whatever. For 3,000. Okay, so we got somebody buying in here for 3,000. Somebody is key here. And again, are there any raffle people out there? Is there anyone that's running a raffle here that is going to show you all the transactions that took place, show you the ID to make sure that it's a real person that is entered in all the other slots? No, probably not. Seemed weird, but I didn't pay much attention to it at the time. Once main was filled, he said he was going to go live, but never did, and just kept saying no one would join the live. Anyways, I was at work, and then his group chat blew up. He had sent us the results and a pre-recorded video, which none of the trusted guys ever do. It's only live and with verification codes. I personally didn't even see that until after work, and then I noticed he didn't send the verification code. All right, so I hit up one of the guys in the raffle, and he said that, yeah, he didn't go live, but he sent all this and that in the group chat. So I went back, and that's when I seen all the stuff he sent. I watched the video and was able to barely make out a verification code, and when I input that, I was so angry and bummed. All right, we're going to take a look at all of those receipts here in a second. He had actually ran the main event 3 times, and on the 4th time, the new account won. Turns out I had won the first 3 he ran. So you guys see where this is going. The new entrant to the Razzle Dazzle that spent $3,000 entering on this thing ended up winning. The fake account that was made by Eddie. To make the story even more crazy, I was actually raffling even if it's a new account, even if it's an old account that happens to be a friend of theirs that's in on it, that can also happen. I mean, that's another way that they can potentially get exposed at the fact that the friend or the person that's not actually going to win, that ends up winning, or is rigged to win. Guys, please don't do this stuff. I was actually raffling a BGS 8.5 first edition Zard at the time, and he had even made it to the main on mine, so we had constantly talked about how cool it would be to win each other's and etc. So that's the thing too, win trading. Not in this instance, but in general, you could probably see something like that happen, where the two people are razzle-dazzling, and then all of a sudden they win each other's crap. They either don't ship to each other, or they do ship to each other if it's, you know, if it works out that way. But I only do things legit and on live, and always with morals, so I had no idea he would stoop so low. He had owed me some money, so when I knew he had scammed me, I created a lie about an emergency so he would pay me that money back, and as soon as I did, I took his name off my main and outed him. I gave away his main spot by inputting everyone who had joined the raffle and ran a drawing with verification codes and live, of course, and the guy who won was a guy from England. He couldn't believe it. Fast forward, and that guy actually won my main event. LOLOL. So that was just a little backstory, and now I'll send you the evidence. One other thing, I had found out he was originally raffling that card for a guy, and when this happened, I messaged that guy, and he had sold that Charizard a while back because he was taking so long on the raffle and sketchy, so he never had the card. All right, so let's take a look here. We got some we got some messages here. The Pokemon and more being Eddie, and you know, making some excuses as he does with not shipping things, making some excuses about going live, not going live. No one seems to be awake to spectate, to watch, to make sure it's legitimate. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this can be faked as well. It can be faked. It can be faked. It can be faked. Any of it can be faked. The random generator, all of it can be faked. If somebody has the resources and puts time into it and wants to fake it, they can fake it. I promise. All right, now we finally have a winner, and people are asking no video. And he says, congrats MCCS Pokemon. It's uploading, just went live, etc. Spot number 3. Appreciate y'all for participating in that. Gonna do a giveaway, etc. for the, oh yeah, of course, giveaways, guys. Remember, giveaways are the key. Anyone that does a giveaway is automatically a good person, and they have your best interest at heart. So, again, most of the time, I'm not saying anyone that ever does a giveaway is doing something wrong and trying to cover up for it. But oftentimes when I'm confronting scammers, they're always talking about how they do it for the kids. They do it for their kids. They let their kids open cards. They do giveaways. They give stuff to people. They have awesome prizes, all this other shit. Usually it's a front if it's a scammer that I'm talking to. But oftentimes, like, don't if you're gonna do a giveaway and you want it to do, like, for channel growth or to get more people involved, to get your viewers up, whatever you want to do, by all means do it. But just be honest about it. You're not doing it for the community. You're doing it for yourself. I mean, maybe you're doing it for both. Maybe there's a shred of both. But typically, if you're asking people to do anything for the giveaway, if you're showing anything about a giveaway, if you're talking about the time that you gave something away, if you're talking about some time that you gave cards to children, again, if it was solely for the purpose of doing it for someone else, for doing it for the kid that you gave a card to, an expensive card to, and you bring it up all the time, that to me, you're not doing it for the kid at that point. You're doing it to make yourself look good, to make yourself feel better, and to give people a perception that you're doing something good. Right? Am I right on that? I don't know. It's the same with the community word. That gets tossed around too much. The giveaway for the community kind of stuff. If it's just like a thanks for watching, guys, here's a chance at winning something. But don't let on that it's only for you're doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself too. When you ask people to subscribe, when you ask people to leave a comment and all that other crap, you're doing it so it grows the video. Just leave it at that. So we had the post here by PokeJax. We're not going to read through this, but if you guys would like to, you can go ahead and do so. A lot of it is the same as the contents of the messages that we looked into here, but we are going to look through the remainder of the evidence. So here we have the Pokemon and more. He's showing all the entries. Again, we got the MCCS account, the fake one with 3 entries here, because I guess he couldn't fill it. Not only could he not fill it, but also he didn't own the card. So at that point in time, if he's not actually selling the card, he needs to make sure that his fake account, this MCCS account, wins. Right? Right. Please. Even though in this instance, the people that were participating, PokeJax was able to call out the BS. This can be faked worse than this, and I don't want to see people getting burned by it, because if he wasn't looking into it the way it was, this idiot Eddie would have gotten away with it, and someone with more expertise, with more care and attention, could have gotten away with it regardless. So be careful out there, guys. Don't blindly trust people, even if it seems legitimate, even if they've given stuff out, even if it's specifically to you, even if you won one of their Razzle McDazzles before, be careful. So here we have it. We have we're going to take a look at the winners here from the giveaway. So as mentioned, with the verification code here, they were able to trace back the account that was running the raffles and see that he had run multiple raffles, basically just running them over and over again until this MCCS account won, which is not that hard to do. When you got 3 out of 10, you got a 30% chance of MCCS Pokemon winning. And even if maybe he did it, maybe, can you imagine? This is never caught. If there's a 30% chance that this dude is never caught on this because MCCS Pokemon wins, or if for some reason he had the ability to actually make this legitimate, make it look a little bit more legitimate than it was. So we have, these are the multiple ones that were run. Here we have, you guys want to look right here, the JLN or JLYNRR. Second one, ZHIXGI. So we see PokeJax actually won again. And I think he was supposed to win 3 times. I think we're missing one of the screenshots. But here we have IPZAGQ. So this is when MCCS Pokemon finally wins the fake account. And then that's the one that's going to be recorded. I mean, it's a separate recording, right? You can even put a blurb at the front of it. You could say, "Hey guys, it's looky Lou. Looks what's going on here." And even if you were doing it live, again, the verification code being important, an important aspect here, but that also can be faked. This could be pre-recorded and through software could easily be shown on screen to make it look like it was a legitimate thing. You can have this you can't have the verification code. You'd have to have a separate account to be running this. But again, any of the details on here can be faked with enough expertise. And when there's a significant amount of money involved, it wouldn't surprise me if people are doing it. So just be careful. Doesn't matter how many receipts people want to show you. You can still be getting boned on this stuff. It's a dangerous spot. And again, the same way with rip and ships or anything like that, stuff can be easily resealed and you wouldn't have no idea. I mean, if they're careful about it, if they don't make it just obvious that like, okay, there's no hits in any pack ever and he's opened 7 billion packs. Be careful, guys. That's all I say. So here we have it. He was dumb enough to run them all on the same account, and he has them all right here. So I guess he only won twice. Or maybe this is the third one, this main. Anyway, you can see here, he's doing all his stuff. He re-rolled at least twice in order to get the result that he wanted. But again, if he had a 30% chance of not having to re-roll it whatsoever. Even, let's say he owned the card, which he didn't own the card. He didn't have the card. There was no card that could ever be sent out. If he did own the card, he could give himself a 30% chance of not having to pay out anything to anyone. For 3 entries, $3,000 worth of entry. Right? You guys seeing what I'm saying here? So even if he was screwing people over less than what he was doing, God, and then he's still doing more after this. Micro, mini, main, super razzle dazzle, nano spots. Jesus Christ! When you have raffles to raffle your raffles, guys, please don't do this stuff. Don't do it. There's got to be something else you can do. If this is like, I don't understand how this can be like your enjoyment. This is your enjoyment for the hobby is razzle McDazzles. There's something else. There are many ways to gamble. If you want to buy vintage packs, you got to be careful doing so as well. Depending on who you're buying from, do box breaks, whatever you got to do. Make sure everything's above board. With the raffles and stuff like that, there's just so many ways that this stuff can be faked. There's so many ways that they can add in fake accounts, fake winners. And that's on top of the fact that a lot of them charge more total dollar value than what is shown. Not to mention the fact that most of these people, again, they might not scam today, they might not scam tomorrow, but they might scam eventually. But they do one big super razzle dazzle, they decide they're out, they're out of money, they have no other choices, they got to scam. It's scamming time, and voila, they sell it. Let's say this was like his get out. He doesn't care if he ruins his reputation. A bunch of people pay thousands of dollars to get in on a raffle that the person either doesn't own the card or they have no intention of selling or sending the card out to the winner, the actual winner. They take a bunch of payments. They never finish the raffle, or they just fake the winner, or they just take off. They just take off altogether. You got a bunch of people that paid in payment methods that are not retrievable. There's no buyer protection if your PayPal friends and family a month ago for a razzle dazzle slot. PayPal's going to say, why the hell did you pay friends and family? This wasn't your friends or family. You were paying for an illegal gambling entry, and you got boned. At that point, also, does it add a little bit? That you're going to go file a police report, and nothing to do with the fact that we have a police officer that was scamming people in this way. But you're going to file a police report to say that someone stole money from you, but you were participating in said illegal gambling. Again, assuming that it is illegal wherever you're located, and depending on where they're located, and depending on how that works over state lines, countries, etc. Look into that stuff. Be careful with that stuff. Are they going to crack down on all of this? Probably not. But at the same time, yeah, why, guys? The same with like the pack breaking stuff. Unless it's something special, probably just open your own packs. If it's a cool box break and it's something old and no, you can't afford a full box, and you're concerned, like, okay, it's base set first ed. Okay, it's the legendary collection or whatever. I want to get in on a box break because I want to know that the pack is legitimate. I want to know that there's a legitimate, chance at me getting a holographic card from it or whatever. That makes sense. Just like random loosey-goosey packs that someone shoved in their cart at Walmart for double the price. They're no-name J-Baller, G-Baller 69 that's charging 2x what the pack should cost, and then you got to pay for shipping, and then you get a big hit and they don't even send it to you anyway. So there's many things to look out for, and again, I get it. If people they got that gambling itch, but if you need to gamble, this is probably not the spot to do it. This is probably not the best way to do it. Just because your added risk it's not worth it. It's not regulated. It's not regulated. And again, it's being performed by, not everyone is a sketchy G-Baller 69 that's running this stuff, but there are a lot of sketchy people that do breaks. There's a lot of sketchy people on Whatnot. There's a lot of sketchy people on Facebook. All of these places, they get caught all the time. We've seen countless times here where people get caught doing this stuff. How many people are not getting caught doing it? And again, it's just top to bottom. There's been big names, little names, new names. The sketchiest person you could ever imagine that looks like he just got out of prison and is trying to pick your pocket and or hold you hostage. It's bad. It's really bad. And it's just my advice is find something else. Just find a different way. Find something safe. If it's the community aspect that you're looking for, there are plenty of communities that don't require you to participate in this extra gamble, swindle that you can be part of. There's lots of streamers that open packs. There's lots of people that make videos opening packs. If you want to open your own packs and you don't have friends in real life, you don't have people that want to tune in and watch you open your own packs, then I feel for you. But also you can join the Discord on Saturdays. There's people in there. You can come in, buy your own packs, save a bunch of money, open your own packs. Don't have to worry about shipping. Don't have to worry about anyone keeping your shit, never shipping it or damaging it or whatever, or getting lost in the mail. Buy your own stuff. Buy your own stuff in a method that's safe. Buy a booster box. Buy some packs. Buy some loose packs from somewhere reputable online. Have it delivered. Get it in on time. Get it in for Saturday. Come hang out. We do voice and video chat every Saturday, happy hour in the Discord. And if you would like to, we will all gladly hang out and watch you open your cards. And when you pull some cool stuff, we will all be excited for you. Again, there's your gambling. Is that not enough gambling for you? Is it not risky enough? All right, so here we go. I guess we get another one here showing that the winner was faked. And here we have the person, the owner of the Charizard, being asked, "Hey there, brother. I was wondering if that Zard that Pokemon and More Raz on your page was yours." He says, "Yeah, but he never posted it / ran it, so I just sold it elsewhere." So he never had the card to begin with. So even if it wasn't rigged, I mean, I guess he had to rig it at that point, unless he would pay everyone back for all of it. Maybe they didn't decide. Maybe he was like, no, never mind, I don't want the Charizard, but then he didn't want to refund everyone their money. Again, one of those like temporary loan things. Wouldn't surprise me if there was something like drug related or something like that this person is going to throw away their professional career as a police officer and doing just shady stuff like this for money. It kind of lends to the point that like something must be going on there, that he needs that money. Gambling, drug addiction of some kind is my guess. But again, you never know what people's motivations are. There's kleptos that will steal random stuff even though they don't need to. So it could be just something like that. He gets a thrill, gets a rush off of ripping people off. But again, just a warning, guys. And again, this is the kind of stuff that you want to stay away from. You can still enjoy Pokemon. You can still get the cards you like. Save up a little bit longer to get something that you want, that you need for your collection, that you need. I mean, we got to remember here that we don't need any of it. It's collectibles. You don't need a first edition base Charizard. You might want it, and if it's something that you want to work towards, by all means do it. But thinking that an entry into a razzle dazzle is the best way to do so is you're misled, you're misguided. It is not the best way. And I get it. People want to gamble. If you want to gamble responsibly. And make sure you're doing it in a way that's not like an underground, probably going to get ripped off eventually. No, not everyone is out there to rip you off. I know I had to keep repeating this because I'm going to have 100 angry razzlers in the comments section, just whipping their dicks out and friggin' screaming at the top of their lungs about how they're not scamming anyone and they're honest and they do giveaways and it's for the kids. But remember, guys, take care of each other most of all. If you have friends don't let friends razzle. Friends don't let friends buy from sketchy TikTok rip and ships. There's a time and place for, I guess, a lot of this stuff. With the rip and ships, I get it on the expensive boxes, and you want to buy it from someone reputable that's doing a box break, that's doing it all out in front of everyone, so you can see and make sure that you're getting a legitimate chance at the contents of the pack, even though there's probably a premium on that. But I don't know, the razzle thing, I don't think there's a place for it. I don't think there's a reason to ever participate in it. Save up for what you want, and you can probably get something that you need. It doesn't need to be a PSA 10 first edition base art or whatever. Here, with the instance of being a 6, chances are anyone that was looking to purchase this has participated in enough raffles that they could have just not and saved up. I think even anything that's like $5,000. Not saying it's a good financial decision to do so, to save up $5,000 for a Pokemon card. But if it's something that you really want, anyone, and it doesn't matter where you're working, what you're doing, if you work hard, you spend a lot of time working towards something, there's no reason you can't have a $5,000 card. I don't even know what a PSA 6 first edition base art is now, but even $10,000. Is it a good idea if you're in a poor financial situation to buy a $10,000 Charizard? No, probably not. But it's an amount of money that anyone could save up for. I mean, anyone. You might have to work some extra hours. You might have to have a side hustle. You might have to work an extra job. You might have to work hard and get a promotion of some kind. You might have to find a new job and make some more money. Anything like that. Any way to make some more money. Anyone can do it. Any education level, I'm sure. $10,000 is very, very achievable. But again, it's just a matter of whether or not that's money better spent on something else, depending on your financial situation. The shortcut is not to buy a fucking raffle slot. Stop it. Stop fucking raffling. Fuck off, guys. Stop buying into this shit. Stop doing this shit. That's about it. I know they're not going to stop, but that's all I got. Bye.